What is up, everybody? Welcome to the 5th episode of NiiceTalk. I am super excited right now to get into this whole podcast because this thing today is something very important. But before I discuss what the topic is, I have Jerron over here right now. Thank you so much for coming back on, Jerron.
What's up? No, dude, Chris, thank you. Chris hit me up the day before, and he was like, hey, dude, you want to be on my podcast again? And I was like, what do you want to talk about? Positivity? And I was like, said yes right away. And I kind of just wanted to dive into it and see how you even achieve a positive mindset and maybe how we can help others achieve a positive outlook in life. Exactly,
because I feel like there's so much negativity in life, but that's always been the case in life itself. But finding the positive, for someone to have a positive mindset is very hard these days.
Yeah.
So I hope in this video, this audio recording, that you guys can also listen in and learn something or also get that positive mindset from the whole thing. So let's get this started. Positive mindset. That is the topic today. And I am so pumped to finally talk about something like this because I'm passionate about being positive. I'm passionate about being nice. I'm positive about doing many things in life. So let's get into this. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out. Let's get right into this. Jerron, how do you stay so positive? What's your 3 tips? Because I believe we have 3 each that we're gonna go over. What is your first one that you like to go off of?
For me, out of my 3, I think the 3 that I kind of prioritize in achieving a positive outlook in life is who you hang out with.
Right.
And I think it's good to have friends. It's good to have, family, but you kind of have to look outward to your environment and figure out who has the biggest influence in your life. Are those people positive? Are they negative? Do those things kind of translate over to your life and kind of affect the way you do things with life, and you're starting to do things that are bad for you, for yourself and your health,
right,
and your outlook in life,
because the people you're around,
Chris, have you had any people in your life where you feel like maybe they drag you down a little bit?
Man, I could talk about this for a while, but I'll definitely keep it short because this podcast is going to be shorter than most of the podcasts I've had so far. So I'm going to make sure I don't talk a whole bunch this time. I think inner circle is really important because, as you know, the friends that I've had, which you've had mutual friends with in the past, it wasn't always a positive environment for myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I took the step to move to a different state, you could see who my real friends were. And I was always told to make sure, like, you are the 5 people that you hang around. So what I took from that is like, okay, well, I need to be around people who are either successful or in general just have a positive mindset. So yeah, I've had like that's why, for one, Jerron is in my life right now,
in the circle.
In my inner circle.
I made it in the top.
He made it. He made it in the top 5 of my MySpace friends list. My top 8, right? Your top 5. But basically, what he did was just always be positive, and no matter what, he just always kind of pushed forward, and that's something that I respected about Jerron, and that's why we have such great chemistry, and that's why we always continue to move forward and never let the negative things get in between us.
I wanted to kind of go back to what you're saying. So you said you actually moved. I know Chris moved to California. Chris, do you want to kind of talk about that a little bit more, and like how? So you went through things with, maybe it was with people, maybe individuals, certain individuals here back home. And your way with coping it was to, maybe you said, to kind of get away from those things. How has that helped you?
Right.
You talked about it a little bit already.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure. I think I understand the question.
I guess the question I'm trying to ask is, I guess maybe people run away from problems or negative stuff. So do you think it's good in a sense to kind of, get away?
I think what I did was a actual mixture of things. It was something that happened that I'm kind of glad that happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like straight up I moved because of those people, because I don't let people like that affect me.
Yeah.
But I chose to move because I had an opportunity to move, And I was like, you know what? I need to get on this ASAP, because if I don't, I'm going to end up like the rest of the people that are being negative, and I don't want to be like that. So what I did was like I saw the opportunity to like leave and to just start over, a new life, a new mindset. And I grew up in those 3 years that I was gone. I grew up way more in those 3 years than I did in the 20 years before I left.
Yeah.
Because I surrounded myself around like better people. I've learned, I've struggled. I mean, when I was in California, I wasn't the happiest. I wasn't making money.
Yeah.
I was literally eating McDonald's twice a day, and that was my only meal. That was it. But anyways, it came down to just being positive. I was so happy that I got to live in California. I was so happy that I got to achieve many different goals, and it was just amazing. So, yeah, I think one of the things was just when I moved, it's not really, I didn't run away from the problems. I just made sure to create solutions to those problems in a way. So moving was something that helped me, but it still had drama here.
Yeah.
But I just found out how to push past it.
So
yeah,
man, Chris was courageous enough to kind of walk away from those toxic things in life, which, you know, I have experienced as well. Whether it was like, you know, past relationships, and, you know, when, you know, you're kind of stuck in a cycle that's kind of repetitively negative.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, nothing's changing.
Yeah.
Patterns are the same. I'm just not happy where things are going.
Right.
So I think you have to be kind of self-aware with that first.
Yep.
And realize, hey, this person, this friend is a good person, but they're just not good for me in my life.
Right.
And it's okay to cut off those people. And I think some people are scared to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe once you become more aware of that, you know, that you should be brave enough and kind of think of yourself first and
right.
foremost in those situations, that
For
your
sure.
happiness comes first.
I think you should always think about yourself first. And it's not even a selfish thing. It's just like, if you aren't there to take care of yourself, then how do you take care of others?
Exactly.
So it's like, it's not a way of being selfish. Is pretty much not accepting any sort of help that you need.
Yeah.
And just doing it all you. And then even when you get help, just claiming that you did it all.
Yeah.
In a way.
So that was your self-care.
Yeah.
Your
Exactly.
self-care was kind of getting out.
Yeah.
And that was a bold move.
Exactly. It was a hard move.
Hard move.
It was
bold move.
but it was the best thing that has ever happened to me. And no matter what the negative things that in California happened, which there was many, but I learned from it, and I'm so much happier now as a person, because before I wasn't like a happy individual. I didn't care about myself. I didn't care about my future. I didn't even know what a future was. I didn't know what certain things are. But now I'm sitting over here like just like mind boggled on the positive messages that I'm receiving that are helping me push out positive messages.
And you can kind of tell when, you know, people are, you know, happy with their lives and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear, we talked about this on the last episode, you know, people who complain and stuff. So that's kind of people I kind of stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
And, just figure out who you hang out with. Maybe like whether it's your best friend or, you know, it could be like your significant other, your mentor.
Yep.
And figure out whether or not they should make your list.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So pretty much, guys, this whole first topic of Geron's was specifically around your inner circle. So if you guys have toxic people in your life, I'm not saying befriend them and think low of them. What I'm saying is surround yourself more around the people that will help you when it comes to your goals, your ambitions, your life, your passion. Because if you want to be a football player, but you're hanging out with someone who wants to play video games, there's nothing wrong with playing video games. That's probably going to be their profession, like through Twitch or like YouTube streaming or something like that. That's fine. But that sitting on the couch is not going to help that person run a like 4-minute mile or catch a ball. You know what I mean? So like, that's what this whole inner circle means. It means just prioritize a little bit more when it comes to other people around who you hang around for, like when it comes to your goals and stuff. But let me just push on to this next topic. Really, do you have anything else you want to say on the inner circle?
That was mine. So what about yourself, Chris?
So my first tip, this is technically the second tip that we're going to be sharing, is seeing past the struggle. So pretty much the brighter side of things. Because let's say, you know, I'm filming something and I'm not as good as someone else. Or let's say I screwed up a whole video and I have to redo it, or I got fired or anything like that. Whatever bad things happen, the struggle is real, and we all know that.
Yeah.
And it happens. But what I've learned to stay positive is to look past that bad part. Look past that and look at it as a lesson and understand that I am wrong for this, because I always admit my wrongs. You could ask anybody I know. When I'm wrong at something, I will admit it. I'll be the first to admit it, because I know that it's wrong, and I know that I shouldn't have done that, or I should learn, or I should whatever. So what I do is I look past that struggle and I see the other side of things into a positive side. Like, hey, you know what? I learned, but I'm not going to do that again. So kind of like seeing past the struggle just really, really helps
I like
me.
That.
You know what I mean?
I have a perfect quote that kind of fits what you just said.
Let's hear it.
And it is either you win or you learn.
Boom.
So I took out the word lose, because you're not losing. You either win, you achieved what you wanted to do, whether it was your goal or your dreams.
Yep.
And if you don't, it's just another learning experience for you to take a step back and say, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what I need to do to reach that point again.
Yep.
And that way you can kind of analyze and correct the things that you think you need to do.
Right.
That way you'll eventually win. And I hear this all the time. Mm-hmm. Life is like a marathon. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Take your time with it, and know that it's possible to look past those things, and that you're able to reach that.
Exactly. So, yeah, guys. So this second topic was pretty much, or this second tip is basically just, if you hit an obstacle in life, just see what it's like on the other side. Envision it, put it on your board, put it on your wall, put it in your phone, on your notes. You could set an alarm to always just see past it, because the future is brighter if you decide to make it brighter. Because if you focus on the negative things, the positive stuff won't come. People will feel bad for a short amount of time until you can do something about it. So see past the struggle, be happy, and just move forward. So, Jerron, what is going to be the third tip of this video?
Third tip, I would say I've been a fan of, watching what I say. So the power of your language.
Yes.
And kind of like
100%.
Rephrasing the way you say things. I used to dread going to work all the time, and I would always tell people, like, hey, John, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, yeah, I have to go to work. Mm-hmm. And then a good mentor of mine told me, hey, change those words. Just know the way you phrase your words can affect your outlook on those, whether it's like going to work. So changing the word and replacing have with get. So like I said earlier, I have to go to work, and then, replacing that with get. So I get to go to work.
Right.
So now you're kind of...
Because you have a job. And you're blessed to have a job. Yeah. Because people are looking for jobs all the time.
Your attitude quickly changes, and you kind of get away from fulfilling those obligations, and you feel like it's not an obligation anymore, and it's more like you're grateful that you get the chance to work. You get the chance to make money.
Exactly.
You get the chance to have money to get food.
To surround yourself around people who are doing the same thing as you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I kind of got it away from, I get to go to work, or like I have cool coworkers that I work with. Yeah. I could say me and Chris, we've collabed on a bunch of projects, and I'm just like, it's not even work. I get to see so-and-so. I get to spend time with this person at work. Mm-hmm. This person at work makes work a fun environment to go to. The work culture is great. So, just changing those phrases. So that helped a lot.
That change. It's just like me saying, like, I have to do this podcast. Damn. I have to get a guest on here.
We get to do this podcast.
But now it's like, hey, you know what? I get to do this podcast. Yo, for some reason, my armpit is like dripping sweat right now. I felt the drip. I thought I was bleeding. That's weird. You guys ever get that? Is that normal? Anyways, so language, guys. Change I have to I get to. You know what I mean? It's almost like when it comes to material things. Do you have to get it, or do you want it? All right, no, what is it? Is that it, neutrally? Oh yeah, you don't want it, but you need it. Or anyways, let's just keep the having to get. Replace those words for 1 week straight and see if it changes anything. If not, find another solution.
I'm going to test Chris and Nichuli to kind of just focus on those things for the week.
Challenge, man.
And,
I would love to
reach
that
out.
challenge.
And if for any
I already love my job too, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I get to go to work and make YouTube videos like every day, bro. That wasn't a Jake Paul thing.
So any of the supporters that are kind of tuning in is, it's going to take some practice to kind of change your language and change your choice of words, but just know it's manageable and just start being more aware of what you say and
exactly.
How you
Awareness is important.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later on. My tip.
This is like the fourth one, right?
This is the fourth one right here. We talked about inner circle.
Okay.
Because that's very important. Choose the people you be around. You are the people that you hang around. Mm-hmm. We talked about seeing past the struggle, seeing the brighter side of things. Language, from I have to I get. And now, empathy. Understand others' feelings. And understand other people's feelings.
Yeah, I think it's like being able to share.
Right. So here's the quick thing that I have to talk about that I recently just went through myself at the beginning of the year.
What happened?
So I work with Benji, as you know, and Judy and Sean sometimes. And, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't take too far into consideration. And I get in trouble for some things sometimes. I mean, it's nothing like crazy, like illegal, but it's almost like a different side of disrespect. So something that I didn't understand at first, but I admitted to it. When I would go to Benji's, he'd tell me, be there at 10 o'clock, be there at 9 o'clock, be there at 8 o'clock. When you go to work, do you show up on time or do you show up before, right? Because if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, then you're on time. So I always thought, I could make it in 20 minutes. I'll leave at 9:40. But there's also traffic lights. There's other issues going on the freeway because people can't drive. And I was late. 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, an hour late, whatever. Even if I updated them, even if I did whatever, I'm supposed to be there that time. So when I got confronted by Benji at one point, he said, do you respect me? I'm like, of course I do. Do you respect this business? Of course I do. He goes, then why are you always late? In my head at first, I was like, it's only 5 minutes and I updated you. I was playing like the victim, like, what are you talking about? I told you I was going to be late, blah, 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 blah. And then I thought, and I stopped myself after I thought that. I didn't say that out loud yet, I don't think. And if I did, whoopsies.
Did I say that out loud?
I pretty much did this. I stopped myself and I literally was like, how does he feel about this though? I'm an employee of his business.
Yeah.
And when he tells me a time, if I don't respect that time, that means I'm not respecting him. So I had empathy. I was like, okay, I need to understand this person's feelings because I don't know what he's feeling right now. So I kind of went more in depth and I was like, oh, you know what? That's what he means. Because if I asked, neutrally, like, hey, bro, I actually have a 3 o'clock appointment that this guy's going to be here at 2:30. We're going to talk about this podcast thing. And all of a sudden he texts me at 2:45 and is like, hey, I'm going to be 5 minutes late, but this guy has to leave by 3:30. That's 5 minutes less that I have to you know what I mean? He's not employed right now. So I'm not expecting him to be on time all the time. But what I'm saying is if I had an employee and he was one of them and I told him a certain time to be here and he was like, I texted you I was going to be late. It's that doesn't matter because the timing for this thing was this time.
Exactly.
So basically, do you have anything you have to say about that? Do you have anything that you'd want to make clear? Because I think I might have said it a little bit in a different way. And I feel if we have a second opinion on it.
I totally understand what you're saying. So, I think it's just kind of reacting to what someone else, might say to you or, if they had maybe it's something that you did and you don't agree on it. And that's kind of just stepping away and saying, hey, I'm a person who always likes to be right. and it's hard.
Right.
It's hard for
most
for
of us
you
want to be right.
Put your pride down, Chris. I know Chris is a very prideful person as well, and I don't know how many of the viewers out there and supporters listening have a sense of pride and don't want to back down.
Ego, it gets to you, man.
Yeah, it gets to you, and and I think that's where empathy comes in, and you can be like, I mean, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back this time, and I don't have to be right this time. I want to see why this person is feeling this way, like how you're saying with like Benji.
Yep.
And that way you can get a better understanding, and that can kind of improve like your relationships with others, and that can get you away from speaking negative about situations and your circumstances. Exactly. So
that's exactly what I was about to say.
You don't have to be right all the time, guys. Come on now.
Yeah, you don't have as much as you want to. You have to accept, and I know it's hard to accept it. So basically, what I'm just gonna I
like to have the last word
elaborate on top. Elaborate on top of all of that is how that helped me stay positive and stuff is pretty much I'm being positive about it, you know, like I'm not sitting there talking crap about Benji being like, oh my God, idiot, freaking, it's like 15 minutes, loser. What do you think? You know, or just keeping that grudge and keeping that like negative mindset, because that will destroy you. If you just think, if you just sit there and point fingers, even if it is their fault, or even if they are being a little hard, it's your fault still. Yeah. So, you know, swallow some pride and think positive and be like, hey, you know what? I'm happy that this guy even employs me still. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I just want to end it with that topic. We have two more topics coming up, and then we're both just going to elaborate on the whole thing in general and just talk for a little bit. But Jaron, next one, what do you have in mind for being positive, having a positive mindset?
The one thing that kind of all my friends tell me is, Jaron, how are you so positive? Or, hey, that guy Jaron, he's always smiling. Mm-hmm. So I want to talk about that, is how your body language can kind of, you know, improve your life and fulfill it with more positivity. And that's by, like, you know, making someone else smile. I always like making people laugh and kind of setting the vibe
exactly
in an environment. And I think we got to realize the immense impact that how our attitude affects other people. And that kind of just goes back to who you hang out with, right? So I mean, if you're making everyone else around you happy, they're happy, therefore it kind of reflects back to you, and you know, everyone's having a good time. So no Debbie Downers. Just keep smiling more. I actually have a tattoo on my back. It says smile for him. I had a really close family member who passed away about, I think it was about 9 years ago. But that guy, he was the definition of
happy, man.
Of a happy dude, always smiling. So instead of me kind of, you know, being depressed, I wanted to kind of live through him by, you know, living by the way he, how should I phrase that?
Living the way like he lived life, you know, just always smiling.
I always wanted to live the way how, you know, my cousin Russell lived life, and he was always smiling, and it's on my back. And when you get tattoos, guys, you can't be hypocritical. And I wanted to go into Chris is Nice Chris. Yeah, and he started his own movement and brand.
Before we get into that, I just want to elaborate more on his, because it's very special. I mean, you know, he had a really close family member, very close. I wasn't too close with him, but I like knew him. He knew me. We were like cool, but we weren't like best friends. But that guy, whenever I did see him, was always smiling, always happy, always being like, I mean, he'll have down days, but who doesn't, right? But what Jaron's trying to say, guys and girls listening, is find a way to make somebody happy, make someone smile. Even if you're kind of a little upset yourself, it will make your day feel better. If you said a joke and someone laughs at it, you get that. I forget what it's called. What's that? Is that serotonin or something like that? Your serotonin in your brain just starts like being activated, and then you just start getting happier. So that's very, very important. And if you want to say anything else on that, then we could go into the next topic.
So just know you have the ability to create the environment that you want to be in. And if that is making people smile, you have the power to do so. And you have the choice to make people feel bad about themselves and just being a straight up dick.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Because that doesn't really help anybody.
That's not gonna help
unless
nobody.
you love that hard that constructive criticism to where like, hey, you're a loser, and you're like, I'm not a loser. I'm gonna make myself better. Don't do that, guys. It's just horrible. Unless you're asking for it, then if that's how you learn. But anyways, yeah, Jerron, what were you saying earlier?
Yeah, no, I was saying because in a way for me is just smiling at other people, and that's kind of how I live by, and being positive. And so Chris, his name is Nice Chris, guys. So hence the word nice, keyword nice.
NiiceTalk podcast, baby.
NiiceTalk podcast.
NiiceTalk podcast. Do you guys like this new setup, by the way? I'm trying new stuff. Anyways, Jerron, go back to it.
Chris started a movement and brand, Be Nice. And it was the funniest thing because...
Hashtag, just make sure I don't get in trouble.
Chris started it. It's a great movement, guys. Talk to Chris about it. Reach out to him if you want to learn more about it. And how Chris will kind of go into it, I think, right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chris started a movement. He was like, be nice, change lives.
Oh, boom.
And Chris living with us here and Min, our roommate, there would be times where, Chris would maybe act a certain way. Not be so nice, be a bad Chris.
Yeah, I mean Chris.
And then we were like,
what
Chris,
was that called?
Be nice. Come on. Like we be all wearing our hoodies that say be nice. I'm like, Chris, look at your chest, bro.
I know.
Nice. And I think that just it's cool when you start those kinds of things that that you want to achieve. And Chris was like the movement, so you can be hypocritical, right? I have tattoos that say smile for him. So if I'm not smiling,
so you're just pissed off all the time. You're wearing a
going
smile
against
thing.
Stuff that's on my body.
Yeah,
that will forever be on my body.
Yeah,
awkward.
Yeah, awkward. Just like my Italiano tattoo.
So Chris,
I still don't know if I'm Italian or
Chris,
not.
talk about Be Nice, bro. Like,
all right,
what made you want to, I guess, start that movement?
So here's some things. I'm gonna leave some things out just due to many different things I don't want to get into. But anyways, let me quickly say something. My alter ego is Mean Chris, and you guys know that, okay? So there's times I get a little mean, but that's only if something bad's really, really going on, and I just need to kind of let it out. It's kind of okay to let out a little bit of, like, frustration, but not in, like, a negative way.
It's out of love.
Find way. Yeah, out of love. So, like, we'll confront each other, and, like, we'll make sure to be like, hey, dude, I don't like the way you do this. And like, hey, okay, because you can't be like, hey, man, I don't really like that you do that. They're not going to take you seriously, right? So you kind of have to put some foot down. So that's what it means. But let's talk about Be Nice, because that is the brand. My name is Nice Chris. I got the name through dancing. There is this guy named Rick, and there's another guy named Greg. And they're both, I think, from like Oregon area.
Yep.
And they were in Moon Patrol crew. And this guy's name was Greg Nice. I think it was opposite. Now it's Nice Greg. Yeah. I don't know if it was Nice Greg at first or Greg Nice or just both. He probably had both. Whatever. Great dancer, guys, by the way. You could check him out. He has one eye on his Nice, though. It's Nice Greg. Shout out. And I'll always remember this, and I never take credit. I will never be like, this is my name. I just feel like I'm like a second generation of him in some way. That's why I have the two eyes. So I started with dance and all that stuff, and it just kind of stuck with me. It hasn't gone away. Like it's just my life, and I'm glad it's been a part of my life. It's really changed, because some people be like, oh, you're just copying. It's like, it's kind of saved my life at some point, because it would stop me from being mean, stop me from saying something mean, because I have to think I have a brand to represent now. So, thank you, Rick and Greg, for giving me this name.
I think it's a cool nickname, too, honestly.
I like it. It's
That's like
so,
a childhood nickname.
Dude, it's so catchy, but I don't want to sell like Nice Chris stuff. I can't really sell nice stuff due to other people selling it, but respect. They got the copyright first, whatever. So I did hashtag Be Nice. I did a movement. It's not really a brand anymore. It's more of be nice, change lives. Because when you're nice to somebody, you could potentially change someone's life. Think about this. If Jerron was having a bad day and he was just on the thought, like, let's just go really dark real quick. He was on the thoughts of just like turning his life upside down, drinking, smoking, just so much, taking pills. I don't even know, right? Just really dark. But I walk past him on the street one day and he does not know who I am. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey man, I really, really like your shoes. He might either think two things. One, he's going to rob me. Or two, that was really, really nice of you. Right?
Yeah. You
Whatever.
Me.
I could compliment some way about his hair, his shoes, the way he smiles, many things. And he will think about that as he's walking away the other direction. That 5 seconds that I spent, or 2 seconds that I said something positive, it changed his focus from being mad at himself or upset. And he would just be like, oh man, this guy really liked my shoes. Then he'll think, what if he's like the next guy that is talking about the world's hottest shoes, and he has he grows a business through it because it's his passion, and it takes him away from the negative and dark sides of things, right? So those little seconds, that's where it came from. Those little few seconds that you are being nice to somebody, it can literally change somebody's life. If you can just say, hey, or introduce yourself in a non-creepy way, or just smile back at someone when you walk past them instead of pretending like they don't exist, you know? Because we're all human. None of us are too cool to talk to another. I can talk to anybody. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you have millions of dollars, billions of dollars. You are a human being with a beating heart, and you have feelings. And I feel like my presence, other people's presence who are also positive and nice, can help you out too. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can talk to anybody, by the way.
I'm not scared of people. Need to just start complimenting people more, honestly.
Yeah. I think the small compliments. I mean, just be like, dude, like, looking good. You've been working out a lot. I freaking love it. That could sound weird around many different types of ways, but let's just elaborate off that around all the things. Jerron, do you have anything you want to say about being positive and kind of do you have like a process? So let's just say this, Jerron. Let's say right now you're doing great with video. He just bought a new camera. He just quit his job at Pochi's, but he still does some stuff with, I believe, Ralph, right? So for his agency, brand, media company. You also work at T-Mobile. Yeah. And let's just say this, theoretically. What if you lost one of those, you know? And let's just say you really need one of those.
Hypothetically speaking, right?
Hypothetically speaking, you know, let's knock on wood.
Wood right now.
I think the floor. Let's just
knock on carpet. But that was
anyways, he gets the. Yeah. I'm the one saying it, so I knocked. It's cool. Anyways, let's just say this: you lose one of the jobs, and let's say it's 50-50. You're making the same amount at one job and the same amount at the other, but you need those both to make ends meet at least.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you lose one of them. And let's say your camera breaks, so you might lose your camera job. And let's say your hours get cut at T-Mobile. All of a sudden, you have a problem.
Yeah.
You go into a depression. It's okay. It happens. You go into a depression for a couple of days, struggling, understanding, like, why is this happening to me right now? I'm supposed to do this with this person at this event. How would you handle that situation? Would you be negative? Or is there a way to be negative and positive? Like, how do you think would be a best step-by-step process to get past that?
I think you just, first off, you just have to accept that, right?
Right.
And not do anything about it. You can't just, say if you do get fired or you get let go from somewhere and you don't go back home and just go crying back. I mean, if it
helps for a little bit, then whatever.
If it helps for a little bit, why not?
But it's okay to be sad and upset. It's okay.
Exactly. It's okay to get emotional about things, but accept it, and not doing nothing will kind of help you with, what you want to do. So, yeah, I mean, that's tough because, I mean, I have been let go from somewhere where I did something wrong. I was mad about it. I was probably more mad at myself.
Yeah.
But again, just knowing that it's a learning experience and just taking it the way that it is and not kind of looking into it more than what it should be. Right. Right. And you're just you're trying to figure out ways why did so and so happen? Why so and so happened? So that's just, you just need to kind of go back into, all right, what can I do now to
like
improve
look forward.
myself. Yeah, just kind of just failing forward a little bit, and just know that, hey, you failed. It's okay to fail, and it's okay that you're able to, and you have the strength, and you have the courage, and you have the power to kind of uplift yourself and become better.
Right. That leads to our whole topic that we just had today too, on positive mindset. That's why I asked. I just want to know on what exactly your step would be.
Yeah.
And that just goes to what I said earlier of seeing past the struggle, see the brighter side of things. You lost your job.
Yes,
it
sir.
sucks. It's okay to kind of have some defeat, because then you're going to learn, why did I lose the job?
Yeah.
Was it my fault? Was it someone else's fault? Okay, whatever. I still got to do something about it, because if you sit there and cry about it that you don't have a job for so long, you're not going to get another job by doing that.
Yeah.
Unless you get a job like complaining, but I don't think there's jobs out there for that.
Yeah.
And then it goes also to your inner circle, because the people you're around, if people around you are like, yeah, that job is stupid and they shouldn't have fired you, guys, it's just a negative, just boom, boom, instead of a group of people, like 2 or 3 people or so, and they're just like, oh my gosh, man, you lost your job. I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you okay? What happened, blah, blah, blah. And you explain it, you get over it, because it's okay to be upset about it. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I got to find a new job. So you go on Indeed, snag a job, Craigslist if you dare, and you're able to find something. Facebook, you can find stuff, So, and then just all comes to the language,
Just have to become more optimistic, and just know there's always another side of the story to things, and just know there's another a route, and there's another lane for yourself to become successful, to become more positive in your life.
Yep. I think an example I want to go off of is this book, Think and Grow Rich by
I've read a little bit. Hill. It's been a while since.
It's been a couple years since I've read it, so I can't really tell you exactly what the book is about.
Napoleon Hill, y'all. Napoleon Hill is the truth.
Right here, guys.
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich. So this book can change your life or just impact it in some way. And how this stuck out to me mainly was, kind of keep going. So when you're not accepted into something, so I believe Steven Spielberg, I believe I'm telling the right story. I sure hope so. Steven Spielberg, as you guys know, one of the greatest of all time. The GOAT. He didn't get accepted when he wanted to get into film, or directing or anything like that, right? Like, he just kept getting shut down multiple times. But what helped him is having a positive mindset and seeing the future, and he kept going, and now look at him. All because he just stayed positive. He had negative moments, which is normal in life. Everyone has them. But he stayed positive and kept going because he knew that was his passion, and he just kept going. So I just want to give a shout out to Think and Grow Rich. If you guys want to check out that book, you can check the links below or in the post, and it will be there for Amazon, and check it out.
I got a couple things on here. I actually posted on my Instagram while we were doing this topic. I was like asking all my friends and stuff. I was like, hey,
I'll pop it up.
How do you achieve a positive mindset? I have a couple of things in here. One of my good friends, I haven't seen her in a while, Amanda, she said with food. Let's talk about that. Yeah, food. That kind of gives you comfort, right?
Food helps. I mean, think about this. That Snickers commercial. You know what I mean? I'm dead serious. Think about that. That Snickers commercial. That commercial's so good. I love it. I want to be on that commercial one day. Where you're just an angry bear or like an angry turtle or something, and all of a sudden you get to eat a little bit and you perform way better. When you have food, you perform better in general. I don't care what anybody says on this planet. If you perform better, you are better, and you'll be better. All that stuff. I have a couple too. Let me see if I can find.
I have another one.
Keep going.
Homegirl Demarie.
Hey, Demarie.
She said, catching yourself when you have a negative thought. So writing your affirmations.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So I think, so that goes back to our self-awareness, being self-aware that like hey, I'm thinking negative. Why am I thinking negative? Let me kind of switch to my affirmations. So I like how she said that, because sometimes I wake up and I pray, and the first thing I say is, hey, I'm grateful that I opened my eyes this morning. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful I have close friends who support me with my dreams and goals. I'm grateful that we get to share this message with other people. So affirmation is a great way to kind of stay positive, guys.
Yeah.
So
that is amazing. I can't find any because I'm on my Instagram. I'm recording with my phone right now, so I can't look on it. This kind of sucks. I really, really, really wanted to get these people questions in. I did an Instagram story yesterday, but some things that stuck out to me that people said that I did read, because I read them all. I just don't remember them all.
What was the one that stood out to you the most?
But one that stood out to me, oh, here we go. I got this. What stood out to me, too, is like I got a couple food. People said food. So,
yeah. Hey. Not gonna lie, I think.
But most people who said food, it was girls, and girls love food. If they get their food. But yeah,
gentlemen, if you want to make girls happy,
you gotta buy them food.
Food is the answer. I got one from Peter Gets Sweaty. He said, "Finding gratitude in your situation, most importantly in your darkest times."
Dang, dude.
So. I guess if, I think everyone's kind of been through a dark time in their life.
Oh, heck yeah, man. All of us have.
Yeah. And that goes back to, catching yourself and just being like, hey, this is where I'm at right now. And I guess, like I said, just being more optimistic and be like, hey, I know I'm able to get out of this situation and this dark time. And no, it's not going to last forever. When it rains, it shines, boy.
Yep.
When it rains, it shines.
I finally found them.
Let's hear.
Let's hear. I'm just gonna name these real quick, and then we're gonna end the podcast, guys. So,
thanks for everyone. Is like,
thank you for engaging, and thank you for understanding, guys. And I hope you understand this, and it can help you in your life.
There's different ways.
There's many ways. Ours is just like ones that helps us, but there's millions of ways that can help you stay positive. From this person right here, KJNav_ is managing your mind and listening to podcasts. So think about that. Positive podcasts. That's why I should name this podcast. I knew it. Positive podcast. It's all good. But anyways, so podcast. If you are just feeling so down and stuff, don't watch a horror movie or, watch a funny movie, or listen to a podcast that is like beneficial to your needs or just being happy. Also here, from Indy, we have My Dog Helps. So animals help. Animals help a lot. I mean, I don't have a dog, but I have a dog. And there's some days I'm just so like frustrated, and I just look at him. I'm like, oh, he wants a treat, and I just give him a treat. I make him sit.
That helps.
State we have from Huawei or Huawei 92. Stay true to yourself. That's a good one. Maybe we got a lot here. I feel so bad.
Choose one that sticks out. And
you just hit this one or this one of these two, and you can pick one. But anyways, while he's finding that, I just want to quickly go off of this. If you have any sort of negative mindset in your mind, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's okay. I always have negative mindset sometimes, or that doesn't make sense. I always have some type of negativity in my life that leads to my mind, but I always find a way around it through a positive mindset by looking past things, looking forward, pushing through, all that stuff. So if you are struggling with anything like that, if it comes to being miserable or blaming other people for your situation or blaming your situation for where you're at in life, it sucks. And you just kind of have to find a way to move forward and just accept the fact that this is what's going on right now, and you got to move past it because, like I said, complaining about something will not feed the kids. Complaining about something will not make you feel any happier. So I just want to make sure that message is out there.
Yes, sir.
And all that stuff. You find anything?
Yeah, I just found one last thing.
Yep.
I said it earlier, like praying, so like meditating.
Yeah, meditation.
Yes, that Virgo Soul said meditation, being grateful every day for the little things in life. that we usually take for granted. And it's not, I mean, there's different ways you can meditate. For me personally, because, you know, I've danced for so long, my way of like kind of expressing myself and like my emotions, I wasn't like, I've grown and I've become more expressive about myself. You know,
you have, dude. You used to be like really quiet and kind of distant
and telling people about my emotions and stuff. But my way with coping with that was like dancing, and that was my form of expression to kind of let my emotions out and to kind of make me feel better about myself. Because now I'm winning because I'm doing something I love.
Yep.
I get to kind of get through it, and that was just through like, you know, my body movements and you know, just dancing, which is, you know, something that I considered fun, and that kind of helped me, you know, be more happy with my life.
I think something that I could add in on this. Yeah. I think I'm done with naming because I think people get it. Hopefully they get it.
That was cool though.
I think the number one thing that can really help you is focus. When you have something that you're focused on, everything else just goes away. It does. So Jaron, for instance, you know, he's had probably multiple things that are happening in his life when it comes to like either like friendship, relationship, family, all that stuff. But through dance, he was focused on kind of like putting together that piece, of course, of the emotions that he's feeling at that time, but he focused. So he would dedicate time and many sweaty nights to getting focused on this dance to make it good. So he would he wouldn't think about, you know, what the heck Susie Lynn said or Clint Velasco. Just kidding. Shout out to Clint Velasco. No, but you know what I mean? Like,
you attract what you think.
Yeah, so when
you
you're
think
focused,
what you become.
Exactly. So there's no problems when you are focused on one possible thing. If I just wanted to drink this orange mango thing and I was so happy to drink it, this is not sponsored, by the way, but if you want to, email me. If I just focused on drinking this or even working out, right? That's why people love to work out when they're upset or depressed. You're just focused. So being focused, however it works for you guys, however it works for anybody, find a way to be focused, find a way to move past and just let go of the negativity.
And I hope everyone can maybe take what we said with a grain of salt and maybe embed it into your lives and let us know if that works with you guys.
Yep. Let us know in the comments below. How do you have a positive mindset? Do you have a negative mindset? And how do you stay focused? How do you push forward? Let me know in the comments. I really want to know in this audio video. I'm sure if this is on Spotify or iTunes, you can't comment, but what you guys can do is go on to my Instagram or YouTube and comment on the video that this was on, or just email me at NiiceTalkPodcast@gmail.com. NiiceTalk with 2 I's on nice, NiiceTalk podcast@gmail.com. Did it stop? So basically, I just want to end it right here. And Jaron, thank you so much for coming back on here. And Jaron might be a regular. Someone commented the other day saying, hey, Jaron should be more of like a regular guest. And I don't want to have this podcast be straight interviewing people that are just making it in life. Because now that I'm doing more podcasts, I'm understanding my focus and what I want my message to be. And I think being like a role model is something I really want to do, and having other people that are on be role models as well. Exactly. To the young, to the elderly, to the middle-aged, whoever is listening to this. I just hope someone learns something from this, and I hope we continue to learn no matter who I have in front of me or beside me. Jaron, any last things you want to say?
Thank you for having me be a part of it again. I know I'm going to be in this more in the future, so I can't wait. This topic kind of, hit home for me, and
for sure,
it was something I really wanted to talk about and kind of share it to everybody.
Sweet, man. Well, thank you guys so much for listening and watching this podcast. You guys can follow us on Instagram at NiceChris. If you want to follow the podcast on Instagram as well, it is NiiceTalk. Jaron is under Jaron Oh No, literally how it sounds, JARONO No. And make sure to subscribe, like the video if you got any value out of this, and comment below. I really want to engage in the comments on this video specifically. And also, let's see, what else? That's about it. Turn on your post notifications, and we will talk to you next week, because it's every week, bro.
The positive world awaits you, everyone.
The positive world. Let's do this.